be live.
I'll do the disclaimer.
You want to do the disclaimer?
Unless you had a...
We're live, bro. What you mean? No, go ahead. Do the disclaimer. Yo. First of all, before we even do that, man, welcome to the check-in. I am your boy, co-host, whatever you want to call it, heat detector, and my guy, my friend, my co-host. You already know who
man.
he
It's
is.
your boy Jizzo in the motherfucking building. We're back for the check-in every Sunday at 8:30. We are a little bit late right now, but we are here, y'all.
Yeah.
So where we at, man? What's
We
going
had
on?
well, just to give them a little. Those of you that may not have seen earlier, we have two shows that we do on Sunday, and we ran a little late, but we had to because we had a legendary Chicago hip hop guy up in here. Might as well say
Shadow
Chicago
Master.
hip hop god. Shadow Master was in the building. So yeah, with that being said, we ran over a little bit late in time and everything, but we ain't never late because we always show up. You want to give them a disclaimer, bro?
Yeah, man. So we're going to go ahead with the disclaimer right now. We are not licensed therapists. We're not none of that, man. We're just some dudes sitting here, man, trying to talk about things going on in life. And this is a space for you to come and be safe and check in with us, man. We used to be Sunday Sit Down with the OGs, and now we are the check-in, man, because we realized that, and he turned the whole show around because he realized that as we kept checking in with each other, man, it was becoming a check-in with the brothers, man. So that's where we're at now with the check-in. Every motherfucking Sunday, every Sunday at 8:30. And yeah, so, don't sue us, don't none of that, man. We're just talking, we're giving you advice, and we're going to give you the real too, man. We talk about situations, and we talk about who was wrong, and we talk about what was right. So, this is that space, man, to really, talk about it.
Yeah, like for real. You say we ran a little bit late, but we're we're doing a lot over here, man. We got a lot on our plate, but we do it because we want to do it. We do it because we love hip hop. We do this show in particular because, we realized that we all go through things and we all have real fucked up days, real struggles, real shit, and sometimes those things can teeter us on the edge of a lot of fucking shit, and teeter us on the edge of actually snapping or doing something, or maybe it's not just that, it's that you could be dealing with mental issues and don't realize that you're dealing with those things. So that's why this show is like extremely important. So it don't matter what time we go on, as long as we go on and say our little words and get some information out there and shit.
And dealing with those kinds of things in your life requires a certain ability, and that's the topic of the show for tonight. Go ahead and let them know. We always bring you guys real stuff that's going on in life, so we could really talk about it, man. So tell them what the subject for today is.
Today is about patience, really, to be honest with you. I mean, it stemmed from a conversation about ADHD, ADD, or whatever you want. Those out there may call it different names, but the attention deficit disorder. But it's a real thing, and it brought to me some insight because my wife suffers with ADHD, and in the beginning of everything, I thought it was just, my thoughts on it were like, oh man, stop tripping, like it wasn't shit, but it's a real mental condition, and people suffer, like for real, like emotionally suffer, physically suffer, mentally suffer. And it's debilitating. And those of us that are either in relationships with people or have family members, a lot of times we brush that shit off like it's nothing, but it's really something. We have to learn to be patient.
I don't think we brush it off like it's nothing, like you said, man. I think it's being patient. And dictionary.com states patience as the quality of being patient, as bearing of provocation, annoyance, misfortune, or pain without complaint, loss of temper, irritation, or the like. An ability or willingness to suppress restlessness or annoyance when confronted with delay. So having patience, man, in misfortune and, complaint, you lost a temper because the person that you might be dealing with, whether it's a family member or a wife or a spouse, having to be patient with them because, we talked about that on the show last week, and
yeah,
we only got into it a little bit, and I'm glad that you brought this back because we said, damn, we got to do a whole show about this.
Yeah, for real.
And so there's definitely two parts of this, and I think that anybody that's listening right now to the show, we definitely need to hear both sides of it. So if you're somebody that's listening, get in on the comments. Let us know. There's a possibility we could bring you on screen.
Yeah, I was gonna say that real quick. We because we love what we're doing right here, and we want to bring the best content that we can possibly bring. So every time we get a chance, we're upgrading, and we just upgraded to a new streaming service because the streaming service that we had, we outgrew it thanks to y'all, and so our new streaming service. We're getting to know it and learn it right now as we go. So there are going to be some things that we were able to do that we're not going to be able to do immediately because, well, shit, I don't know how. but
we're definitely
be patient.
No, but for anybody that's been watching the show or that's been on the check-in or has been on watching Unwrapped, the whole Unwrapped channel, y'all know, man. Y'all see how everything's changing, man. Shout out to Heatman for designing the set that we're currently in. At Unwrapped Studios. So, man, shout out to you, bro, for elevating the show constantly every single month, every single week, man.
Thank you.
Can we get a...
okay,
I
can, but let me see.
We're all clapping.
But I wanted to say that, and I am going to put a link in the comments. But unfortunately, right now, I don't know how to put in more than one person at this moment. I don't have the window for it, but one person at a time I can do. I'm going to put the link in the comments.
We'll rotate them.
Yeah.
We'll do like 5 minutes or 10 minutes at a time, and then we'll just rotate.
Yeah, we'll put the link in the comments.
So y'all still hit the link that's in the comments. Y'all could get in on the show. We want y'all. If y'all want to call in, we'll give y'all a phone number. Get in the comments and say you want to call in. I'll shoot you the number so that y'all could get in on the line with us. Or if you want to get on the video like Heat said, one at a time, man.
I'm put the link is in the comments on the YouTube channel. I'm unable to do it right now. So if you're watching this from Facebook on any of the Facebook channels, please move over to the YouTube channel at Unwrap on YouTube and at Jizzo Productions on YouTube as well. And also hit that like and subscribe button. Because we want to continue to give you this good content, man, from hip hop all the way to mental health, man, for real, and sports. Yeah, we're trying to cover we're not trying, we're doing it, but we're covering everything, man, and we're only getting better, and we're only going to be getting better daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, period. But back to the patience, man. Patience is a tough thing, man. People don't really realize how patience works, like. There's a lot of people who claim to be patient, who say they're the really patient people. I always thought I was a patient person until I started really, honestly started doing this show and really started to make changes in my life. And I really realized I wasn't patient at all. And no wonder why my family was always bugging the fuck out off of me and feeling like they were walking on eggshells and you know what I mean? Because I was very, very, very impatient. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't leave any leeway for anybody for anything. You know what I mean? And understanding that shit now and really taking a step back and really going, all right, let me shut the fuck up and let me listen. Let me shut up and listen to what this person's telling me. And this is how I even the whole thing about the ADHD, because I shut the fuck up and was listening to my wife and not understanding that as I'm listening, I'm like, oh shit, I'm like the cause of a lot of this motherfucking mental torture to this woman because I didn't realize all the things that she was going through having that illness. So being patient can open your eyes to a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? And you'll be able to see things for what they are. You'll be able to hear people, not listen to them, but hear them when they speak because you're quiet. You're patient. Just be quiet and hear them. You know what I mean? Even if you're in a car and the traffic is all fucked up, be patient. You're gonna get home. You're gonna make it.
But I think if anybody that's listening right now is maybe having that moment of realization where they're kind of like, they're listening to us and they're like, oh shit, maybe I should stop and think for a minute because, I think that's what leads to that you just carry on about this shit where you're just not thinking about anything and, or anybody else.
It's, man, let me tell you.
There's a lot of steps, bro. People will say that they're patient, but, there's a lot of steps that you got to take to get to that point. And like you said,
Look,
you got to think about it.
man.
Look, here it says, calm yourself down when you're impatient. One of the things is breathe deeply. And that kind of goes with our 5-second rule, man. Shout out to OT. He's not on the show right now, but he's one of our co-hosts. Shout out to OT out there in Cali.
I was just
and the
gonna say he's always that 5-second rule.
5-second rule. So breathe deeply, and then this thing says right here. I'm on realsimple.com right now, and they have an article talking about being patient. Another thing is use calming self-talk, and I think that's good, right? Because most of the time, that voice in your head, if you're like a younger kid, is telling you like, because we're talking patience in relationships, maybe specific to you, but we're also just talking about patience,
Period.
right?
Yeah,
Period. Which means not being fucking reactive and being one of these kids on the street that's just being reactive,
right?
And, you know, doing something stupid that they can't take back. So I think that self-talk, if you do that the right way, it'll lead you to that right point. Like self-talk yourself in a positive way. Most motherfuckers are like, man, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna spin the block, and you know what I mean? Like, there's the different kind of self-talk. So yeah, use a calming self-talk.
Yeah, I mean, like for real, like I told you, like we talk all the time, you know, and I told you, like, man, doing this show has been helpful to me, like for real. Like for every show that we do, I'm growing more and more, you know what I mean, as a person and as a man. And it was doing this show that I started to exercise patience. And doing this show, I started to exercise patience, not with just my family, but I started off with just people that I dealt with every day. You know what I'm saying? And being patient with them. Not everybody's on my motherfucking time. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody has to do what I say do when I say do it. You know what I mean? And being patient and knowing that, okay, you know, it's my, you know, motherfucker might not be here right now, but they're coming. You know what I'm saying? Just sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up. It's going to be all right. And that lent itself over into every goddamn thing else. And it lent itself over into me being patient with family and the people that are closest to me. And it's a side of them that it's a side of me that they've never seen. And so they're like looking like, oh, fuck, who is this motherfucker? Because this is not the reaction that even the reaction that I give when a situation is happening, if there's an argument or if there's anything, my reaction is not like it used to be because I am practicing patience.
But for those that don't know, there's also a change in your life that kind of led to those reactions as well.
Well, yeah, I quit drinking.
He quit drinking.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
how long have you been?
I don't know. I don't keep count.
Okay, yeah.
I honestly
we
don't.
spoke about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's no count, but yeah, for sure.
I don't keep count because I don't feel like it's necessary. I just, it is what it is at this point. I mean, I was the type of person, anyways. When I drank, it wasn't to me. It wasn't like I needed to drink, or I didn't feel like I was whatever, you know, an alcoholic or whatever. But I just was like, whatever, man, fuck it, you know. But what it did do was allowed me to have a very clear mind 24/7, and because I don't smoke weed or do any types of drugs, and I've never done that. So now I'm 24/7 clear minded. And it's like, now nothing can get past me. You know what I'm saying? And now I really got to be patient because I'm hearing every fucking thing that everybody's saying to me. Nothing's getting past me. And because of that, I'm literally having to have patience and really figure shit out because I'm catching slight shit. I'm catching congratulations and approval and things that normally probably just would have went way past my motherfucking head because I wasn't even focused on it or even thinking about it. Or, you know, or even when someone is trying to explain something to me that I don't really particularly want to hear and I don't have the patience to sit down and hear them, but not knowing that because I don't have the patience, I'm directly affecting everything around me in a negative way. So it's been a hell of a motherfucking ride for me, and I ain't done with this roller coaster yet because there's plenty more to come, and I'm ready for it. Every day, I strive to do better every fucking day, and I know that should be sounding corny as fuck, but I legitimately wake up every morning, and before I put my first foot on the floor, man, I'm telling myself, you know, today's got to be better than yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, I didn't have a good day yesterday. I really didn't. And Friday I wasn't having a good day, but I woke up from Friday and said I'm gonna have a better day on Saturday. Did Saturday work out all the way great? No. Was I fucked off and pissed off and angry about a lot of shit? Yeah. But I handled it differently on Saturday than I handled it on Friday. You know what I'm saying? And then Sunday rolls around. Again, not a great day starting off. But because I woke up that morning and said, it's going to be better. I'm going to do better today than I did yesterday. And it kept me mindful of that shit when I was talking to my wife today and having conversations. Shit wasn't going right. Everything was fucked up. Shit is sour. Shit is bad. And I just had to reel it in, really sit back and listen, then give my side, my feelings about it. And before it got really, like, it was getting pretty bad, and I made the decision to stop. You know, I said, we can't do this. We can't check out like this. You know what I'm saying? We can't just end this conversation like this with all this negativity. Can't. Because it's going to fuck up the rest of the day. I don't want to do that. I don't want to walk around for the rest of the day thinking about fucked up shit. I want to walk around the rest of this day feeling better about shit because I was already having a bad day.
And that's kind of a form of having patience.
Yeah.
Kind of saying to yourself, like, all right, let me stop. Let's not do this. We're going to fuck up the rest of the hours that are leading up to the day. Because we've all had those situations where you've been with your girl, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever it is, and something fucking goes wrong in the morning. Y'all get into a nasty ass fight. That'll fuck the whole day up, you know? And for most families, they have kids, and it affects everybody. It definitely affects everybody. You know, this whole patience thing, and it goes past the ADHD or ADD conversation that we're having, like, just in general, man, with everything, and even in you having to have patience and them having to have patience with you, like, it goes both ways. But how do you think the most helpful thing in a situation like that is sitting down face to face with everybody and talking? Is that the best thing to do, like, to confront that shit, like, head on, like, hey, we all need to sit down as a family and talk?
I think, just for me personally, I think the heads of the family should have that conversation first, because you got, as the head of a family, you the two of you must get it together before you can bring it to the rest of the family. Because, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm on my phone, I have to manually type in the link to go in. So
it's all good, man.
Yeah.
There's a question here that somebody asked, and they said, why are relationships so hard for people with ADHD? And the response is that many people with ADHD have difficulty focusing. A person may quickly lose sight of how frequently he pays attention to his partner and the things that matter to the partner. In turn, this can cause the new partner to feel uncared for or ignored. ADHD impacts a person's ability to focus or remember commitments. And to be honest, bro, I feel like everyone has, you know how when they say, like, oh, I'm crazy, everybody's crazy. I feel like not to match crazy with this, but I just mean, like, I think we all have, you know, versions of things like this, man. I'm not fucking perfect. I've definitely not stopped paying attention to a partner and, you know, been in situations where I just stopped focusing. And, you know, and most people, you know, in our community, bro, like, most people don't ever go to a doctor to get diagnosed or walk into a doctor to, you know, hey, man, I'm not being able to focus and stuff like that. And even in my own personal life, like, you know, with my kids and family members, like, you know, we have people that deal with that, with anxiety and not being able to focus. And it's hard, man. And everybody just deals with it a different way. But I think what's helped me the most is being able to be patient. Like, you know, when I'm talking to my family members, like, you know, just talk to them in a patient form and just try to be like, look, man, I'm here, I'm listening, you know, we're going to make this shit right, whatever it is. And whatever it is in any situation, you know, just being patient and being able to just focus on, like, making shit better. I think, like, we be so fucking short-tempered sometimes that a lot of people's, and especially, like, and then this could be like a whole nother show, but, like, what is it like nowadays where, you know, maybe back in the day, if you know, in the 70s, 80s, before social media, dealing with somebody like that, it was probably different because, you know, there wasn't like someone to run to. So you just like face the problems like straight up. And I think nowadays in today's society, it's different because there's that option that you can just go on Facebook dating and set up a profile. You can just go on Tinder or Bumble or whatever it is, that's whatever your poison is, and get on there and immediately have responses and immediately have people interested in you. So I think that affects everything too. Like that affects the level of patience. People just say, fuck it now. Cause why do you have to stay? You don't have to stay. You can just fucking jump on a website, get somebody else that you want, and you know, boom, like problem solved. So, you know, it's definitely different. Anybody that's in the comments that's listening or watching, what do y'all feel about that? Y'all feel that it was different back in the day when, you know, there was no social media and people had to deal with it straight up? And we've had those conversations on the podcast before. Shout out to D-Nick when he's talked about his grandmother and his grandfather and, you know, different situations with them. And so it's kind of like it was way different back then. And now, I mean, how many people do you know that are married, like, you know, that are, you know, been married 15 years or 10 years? Like, it's not a lot, man. Like, it's people are breaking up and shit all the time. Like, there's a lot of shit. It's people, it's single people, you know, slewing around this motherfucker.
Shout out to D-Nick. I'm assuming that's him. It's Microphone Misfits TV, but it's he says it's a muscle that you have to build on, and he's talking about patience, and it is a muscle. Trust me, man. What he's saying, that my muscle, my patience muscle right now is the scrawny kid going into the gym for the first time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm building on that, and just staying aware all the time, man. Because, like I said, I didn't realize that I was even like that goddamn impatient. And so much so that it was fucking everything else up. Not to mention my wife having ADHD and finding out that my son is diagnosed, because that's how much I wasn't paying attention. So I'm in a house full of ADHD motherfuckers, and I'm over here not even like knowing what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, I'm adding to their shit that they're already struggling with me being impatient and forcing my agenda 24/7 nonstop. That's wild.
You might think that patience means, some people might interpret patience of, oh, just being cool, just trying to be cool. But I was looking at another definition, and it said the capacity for calmly enduring pain or trying situations.
Yeah.
So being patient, don't think, you know, we know that you're hurting. We know being patient is you're hurting and you're fucking dealing with it.
Yeah. That's it. Because in those moments of being patient, right? In those moments of sitting back and actually listening and not listening, but really hearing somebody, you cannot help but be introspective and really think as you're listening about what's being said to you, man. And it's wild, man. And it's especially when you have those aha ass moments where you're just going, where you look inside and you're like, fuck you mean this shit is this? I was the issue. Shit, I was the fucking issue.
But that's a big step, bro. That's a major step. If you can get to that step, I think that's a big step. Like saying to yourself, or just acknowledging that the root of some of the things go to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Real quick, like
it takes others to tango too, man.
Yeah, so. For real. It's a two-way street, but even still, you know, you got to take accountability for your actions and shit. Anyways, we say that all the time on every check-in. It's all about the accountability. Once you start taking accountability, these other things seem to me to just kind of fall in place. But I wanted to say that the link is in the comments on both Jizzle Productions and on at Unwrap and at Jizzle Productions on YouTube. And I also posted it on Facebook at Unwrap or Heat Detector Unwrap. But the first link I sent is actually says XCAM, and that's X exam. I mean, and that's not what I meant. It's supposed to be eCam. So it's www. Whatever. No, hold on. Let me just say it. It's like HTTP, whatever in the fuck. Was it semicolon / guest.ecam.live / lowercase f 8 lowercase b 889176. You see it right there in the comments, both on both YouTube channels, man. We can only handle one guest at a time because we're like I said, we switched up the services right now, so we're still learning a lot of things. We're doing all this shit because we want to bring all this great content that we have, and it's not just content, man. We really love this shit, and we really love doing it. And it fuck if not for nothing, it's helping me and helping motherfuckers around me and people that are close to me. And it's definitely helping me build on relationships and build myself to be a better person. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened there, but our camera got.
It's cool, y'all. We still online. Stay tuned in, man. We're just
having again technical difficulties.
We are switching our cameras right now. So stay tuned, man. But shout out to everybody that's currently watching. That's on Jizzle Productions YouTube. Shout out to y'all, man, and all of our subscribers that are on there, all 1.3K of y'all. So shout out to y'all. We also shout out to everybody that's also, as I'm looking right here, man, on the Unwrap station. Shout out to y'all, man, that's tuned in, currently watching. And then peace to everybody on Facebook as well. Y'all know that's where y'all could get to know us, man, where we do our posting and everything. Jizzle Villanueva on Facebook. That's me, your boy Heat Detector, sitting over to the left of me. He's he's the host, man. Make sure and follow Unwrap. So go on YouTube because on Unwrap there's 4 shows, man. We got a weekend packed with podcasts. So we kick off Friday with the Unwrap show, which is an in-depth interview show where Heat Detector and his illustrious co-host Naj Vino host they host in-depth interviews, man. So they talk to artists from all over, man, from all over the country, man. California, Texas, from everywhere. And they do these dope interviews, man. And they're an hour and a half long. So for all my podcast heads out there, make sure to tune into that. Saturdays, we got Whoop De Whoop at 9:30 p.m. Sports podcast, Sports How You Supposed to Get It Dummy. Make sure to tune into that for all my sports heads. And then when we get to Sunday, man, we hit them with the grand finale with the Shy City Cypher podcast at 7 p.m. And then we go ahead and at 8:30 p.m. y'all got the check-in, man, which is the show that y'all watching right now.
Microphone Misfits TV says, can someone join? Yeah, you can join. All you got to do is hit that link. It's in the comments on YouTube, on the YouTube channel. It's also in the comments on the Facebook channel. I'm just waiting on this camera right quick. We're having little technical difficulties real quick, but the camera's going to be on here in just a second, so we get right back to it. But you can still hear us.
All right, we're back.
Oh, I see D-Nick.
Hold on. It says yeah, we're still waiting, but we do see the comments, man. Yeah, you could join, brother. Hit the link that's in the comments. Either whether you're on Unwrap or Jizzle Productions or on Facebook, there should be a link in the comments. Hit that link. We'll go ahead and we'll get you in as a guest. There you go,
There's
man.
There's D-Nick right there. We see you. We just got to get our camera on. Can we hear? Can you hear us, bro? Hold on. I don't know why we can't hear him. Hold on. Let me check. Oh, there we go. Hold on. We can't hear your microphone. Oh, you got yourself muted.
We're still waiting, but we do.
You got yourself. It says your guest has muted themselves.
All right, check. 1, 2.
Now, let me figure it out. Okay. So I'm building on that. Shit. Man, we working out the kinks. Fam, we working out the kinks. But
for those that been watching, we actually switched to a different streaming service in the last couple of days. So right now, this is probably the first one, like the second or third show that we're doing with this new program. So bear with us as we try to go ahead and get this camera working. But for anybody that's still listening, the topic for today was patience, having patience, all around patience. Heat's dealing with it, in his personal life, and everybody deals with it in their personal life. So we're just trying to have that conversation. We got D-Nick in the building from the Microphone Misfits. D-Nick, man, talk to him, man. What's your take on this, brother?
Man, it's a good topic. It's dope. The patience. What really kind of got me was something that he was talking about with the family, like everybody being diagnosed with ADHD, and man, that thing that is so overdiagnosed. So, it's hard to really tell if it's accurate or if people are just having trouble or are out of practice focusing.
Right.
And I kind
I would
of
say
I struggle with those terms and those diagnoses being put on people, personally, just because I know it's real. I know it's. I'm not calling it fake. I'm not no tinfoil hat crackpot calling that stuff fake or anything. But I also know that there's scammers out there too on the corporate medical side. So I just want everybody to do the work. Like how you doing now. Just do the work and really build those muscles up. So you can have enough muscle to fight that,
goddamn, I don't know
to challenge that. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Oh, I know what's wrong with this sound. Shit.
Yeah, no, for sure, and it's definitely, and I think it's something that we all need to challenge, and that's why I was saying that on the podcast earlier that we do need to challenge that, and even if you think that your small part, quote unquote small part, isn't doing anything, it really is, man. It's you're having an impact in some kind of way. So whatever it is that you're doing, man, just do that, man, and keep doing it, and get with other people that are doing it. That's
And
what,
I'm I'm not to cut you. I just want to, I'm not saying that any of those diagnoses are fake. I say diagnosis. Those diagnoses are fake or anything. It's just two things can be right. There's people that will, slap that on you just because you can't sit still, and it doesn't mean that you have that. You know what I'm saying? It's so many different factors why you can't concentrate. We always throw that on kids and adults. And it's not always fair, and it's not always accurate. Like you said earlier when I was watching, we all like on the spectrum of something.
yeah.
We got our camera back.
Yeah, man, that's what I was saying, bro. Like, I feel like in a way we all have like any kind of little thing that you could describe what people got, like when they're dealing with some kind of mental health or whatever, in whatever spectrum it is, we all have a version of that, man. Like, I'm guilty of not paying attention, of not, we all do that.
Hey, D-Nick, before you say anything, could you turn your camera?
But am I good?
Well, for whatever reason, let me see if I can adjust it, because we're just barely getting like a little bit of your face, but I can adjust it. I can adjust it from here.
I can see myself. I think that's on y'all end. I can see like from chest above the head.
Yeah. Again, we're apologies. We're just learning this. Whole new you digs. So we're just although we can just. Right now, we just see your nose and your mouth.
Oh, wow. I can
there you go.
totally see.
There you go.
All right. Is that better?
Yes, sir. Much better.
I'm way on. I'm pushing it way back.
That's way better. Well, actually, we can see you. We just can't see your mouth. There we go. Right there. Perfect.
No.
But yeah, I listen. I understand everything you're saying, because I've talked to some other people, and their thoughts on that shit was also too like, oh, it's so overdiagnosed and everything. But I've seen this shit firsthand, and so like when I actually took that minute to sit down and actually really use patience, I started to hear these things that were that my wife was talking about and how they were affecting her every day. And then I had like these moments, man, where I'm like, oh shit, no wonder why. It's not that because she's got the shit bad. Like it ain't because she couldn't sit down as a child or anything. She got it where it's physically debilitating, and it physically takes a toll on her mentally. It physically takes a toll on her emotionally. It fucks up her thought process. It fucks up how she sees things. It fucks up every fucking thing. And then here my dumbass is on the other end of the spectrum, just like not because I was ignorant to the fact, and because I also just really at that point in time was not exercising any patience, and so I was adding. That's like adding gasoline on an already burning building. You know what I mean? And,
Right.
and I didn't realize what I was doing to and actually causing about 90% of the rift that was going on in the house
Right.
because of me not understanding what this person was dealing with and how it would emotionally make them shut down, physically make them shut down. Like, how can you fucking, and I'd be getting on it, how can you fucking sleep like this all day long, 12, 13 hours, and then go back to bed at like 8 and then sleep another 8 hours? Like, Jesus, fuck. Not knowing that all of this shit that's going on was physically taxing and physically fucking her up. But, yeah, man, it's shit. After I took that step backwards, not backwards, but took a step back and went, oh shit. You talk about eye-opening, like really eye-opening. For me, it was. I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, it was extremely eye-opening. And more so at myself. The self-reflection that I had to do, you know what I'm saying? And to look at myself and go, oh shit. Look at the damage, the on top of what this person's already dealing with. Look at the damage that you've caused within this relationship by not exercising patience, by being this fucking person who was pushing my agenda all the goddamn time. And I could only imagine if your brain is not wired already to even have these kind of like cohesive thoughts and shit. And then here somebody comes along and they're double time talking on your ass. You know what I'm saying? And fucking, I'm saying this, I'm saying that, I'm angry 1 second, you know what I'm saying? Next second I'm drunk, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? I could only imagine what was going on in their brain while all that shit happening, and then why they were shutting down on me when I'm like, well, why don't you fucking talk? And what are you staring at the wall for? You know what I mean? And like, yo,
Man, I forgot. There's a term for that. It's third one. It's fight, flight, and I forget the third one. Oh my God. I'm having a brain fart, fellas. I apologize.
No, you're all good.
It's three of them. It's fight, flight, and it's something where you just stuck.
Or, yeah, stuck is a good one.
But I forget what the flat-out term for it is. Like but it's that whole process. Is that whole thing that we go into? Like we either fight or we flight, or we have that other thing where you just stuck. You just don't move.
According to WebMD, it says right here, fight or flight is a well-known fighter. It's basically what does fight? It's fight, flight, or freeze.
Okay.
Or fawn meaning. It says fight or flight is a well-known stress response that occurs when hormones are released in our body, prompting you to stay and fight or run and flee danger. If your body perceives it to be in trouble, your system will work to keep you alive.
Yeah. Ain't that some shit?
I was thinking about the fawn. Yeah, you're right. Fight, flight, fawn. You're right. Thank you.
I don't know what fawn means. I thought fawn is like a female, like deer.
A deer? No.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Doe is a female deer. But that's crazy because that's exactly those things were what, because when she would go into fight mode, I could only imagine in her mind she was fighting for her motherfucking life mentally.
Fawn is when you justify it being, I believe when you justify it being done to you, like, well, I deserve this.
Yeah, it says to fawn over someone is to court their favor by groveling or flattering the person.
Yeah. So it's like there's a fight, there's a flight, there's when you freeze, and then you fawn. Like, oh no, you're right. Yeah. I am a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the four. Thank you, Gizmo. Totally.
You're welcome, bro.
Hold on, 1 second. We got comments I want to get to real quick. Kennard the DJ says, is being overwhelmed a cause of ADHD?
I think being overwhelmed is effect of ADHD.
Yeah,
Not a cause of
I don't
it.
know.
It's
We're not doctors over here.
No,
so.
no, we're not. But I'm just saying, I would feel like it's not like a cause of it. It's just an effect of it.
It's a symptom of it, but it's not exclusive to it. You know what I'm saying? Like being overwhelmed is being overwhelmed, but being overwhelmed is part of can be a part of your ADHD, like you know where you get frustrated and you're overwhelmed when you're just trying to figure it out.
You got a really bad echo when you're talking right now. I don't know why that is.
Nick, we might have to get you. We might have to get you to get out and get back in, brother, because there's some kind of an echo with your
connect. It's on you.
We could hear it and we could hear it on our phones too. Yeah, let's get you out and back in, bro, so we could continue this, man. There's an echo.
It's a dope conversation, though. I really appreciate you jumping in, bro.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Me too. Me too.
But yeah, man, what that whole thing about the fight and flight, I've seen every angle of all of that shit. And then, let's just say something here real quick about
I think flight, freeze, and fawn are all the same though. I feel like those three are the same. If you're either fighting, which is one thing where you're dealing with it, or flight, freeze, fawn, that's kind of all the same thing. But yeah, man, and anybody else that's in the comments, man, go ahead and tune in. Let us know what y'all think about the situation that we're talking about. We're opening it up. We're making sure that it's a broad situation. As far as like, we're not like specified, like talking about patients in this. We kind of are, because we're talking about personal situations, but we're just talking about patients in general. You may be dealing with somebody in your life that whatever it is that they're going through, you're having to have some kind of patience. I think in our daily life, we all always have to deal with having some form of patience. Whether it be when you're walking.
Hold on, D-Nick, I'm gonna get you in.
Whether it be when you're walking to the bus stop in the morning to go to work, and you're having to deal with idiots at the bus stop, or you're having to deal with people on the bus or people at your job. There's always, all day, we have to strive for this like form of patience, and it's and having patience and being civil, man. Because like I said, what are you gonna do? Go wild out at people at work? No, you can't. Everything is a form of patience. So exercise it, whatever it is that you're doing. But do you want to flight? Are you freezing? Are you fawning? I think those three are the same. So I don't know. This is a difficult conversation. I think everybody's gonna have a different response to it.
I don't feel like it's difficult. I feel like it's needed. Be honest with man.
Check.
Yeah, I think you sound good now. Let me check. I'm a guy. I got it on Facebook. Just to go, if you could say something.
Syphilis, chlamydia, gonorrhea.
It's still a little bit of an echo.
Herpes.
Did you normally wear headphones before? Because I don't think we ever got echo.
I never wore headphones with you guys.
I don't know what that is. Let me check something over here, but. We'll get it figured out. Fuck it. One of those nights. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna stress over it. It might be something I'm doing over here, man. We got new service, and I'm over here trying to figure that out, trying to do the
echo's
show.
not that bad though. We're still hearing. I was listening to the YouTube. You could still hear what he's saying.
All right, cool. But
well, at least we fixed the shot, man. Hey, we're building here.
Yeah. Relax.
Shout out to Kennard the DJ. Shout out to Kennard the DJ. I can't see your thumbnail, my guy, but if it's who I think it is, that's Kennard. He's a Shy City Cypher alumni.
My bad.
Yeah. So anyway, in closing, yes, Kennard is a Shy City Cypher alumni. I believe that's him. He's also a DJ. He rocked like Volume 10 and a couple volumes before that. So shout out to you, bro.
Respect.
Yeah.
Hey Nick, D Nick, when can we get you on a Shy City Cypher, bro?
Hey, this ain't the Side City Cypher
I know,
show
I
right
know,
now,
I know. I'm just saying.
bro. You can talk about that another time. You
right.
can call that man for that. I'm just saying. I'm exercising
I
patience
was
with you
shouting
right
out
now, bro.
Kennard because he's via fucking Jizzle Productions YouTube.
I'm exercising patience with you right now, sir.
Yes, I have patience with you too.
Okay. Now So anyway, let's get back on track here, man. I was saying earlier, man. I was talking to someone and they were like, yo, they're like a super firm believer in it's overdiagnosed and people really don't have that shit. And this person's an actual. They have their master's degree in psychology and shit. And I was just like, that's weird coming from a motherfucker that
It's not. It's not, man.
Shit.
When you work in,
Hold on, bro. God damn. I think I did that. I fucked up the fucking audio again. Look, I promise next week we're gonna have it together, man. Shit. It's this new shit and man, my bad, man. I fucked that up. I really did. Give it 1 second.
Yo, Nick, can you still hear us, bro?
Yeah, he can hear us.
yeah.
No, he's back. He's back. I know what I did.
Okay,
So.
bet.
But yeah,
No, man, it's super issues.
All good, man. That's been tuning in for all these months, and all these shows are.
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I was just saying, shout out to everybody that's been tuning in and follows on Ratman for the last year as we keep bringing you shows where we just switched platforms, man. We switched streaming platforms, so we're just getting it right. Be patient with us.
Yeah, please. Yeah, we got Reggie Daniels in the comments. What's all great discussion so far. Yeah, sorry about all the little technical difficulties we've been having. You know what I'm saying? But we're getting it together, man. It's new service, new shit, and that's not making an excuse. But I am learning it right now as we speak. But Reggie Daniels says patience is usually a result of experience, introspection, and self-awareness, which takes time to develop. Yeah. I mean, in having a conversation with my significant other, I was telling her that I've always been introspective. I've always been this person who thought about these things. So I was exercising these muscles, those parts of it, beforehand, and being self-aware, but I wasn't executing. So I was aware of the shit, and I was aware of things and everything, but I was refusing to execute any of them. So
You're fighting it.
Yeah, for real.
You're fighting it.
Yeah, and because I didn't want to be held accountable as well. You know what I'm saying? And so when I do come into this whole new thing of having patience and everything, as silly as it may sound, but it feels very easy for me to do. Because I was literally practicing the shit, but I was not executing it. So in my mind, as long as I was aware, nobody else knew that I was aware. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Because then I can keep it for myself and I can continue giving myself excuses for my behavior.
Man, I'm the same cat. Like I'm really the personification. It's thought that counts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't need nobody to give me nothing, wish me a happy birthday. I got weird anxiety about getting props and accolades anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's like my issue. You know what I'm saying? So I totally understand. Like what you mean is like you buckle against all that, but So it's a trip, man. But to your point about like your partner that was like a psychologist that was like, nah, it's overdiagnosed. Man, it is scammers everywhere, even in the clinical fields, and it's tough. It's really tough, you know, and everything is weaponized against us, you know. Like everything, people who like got love for you, like, and it's not always them specifically. It's just things around them, and it's just you know everything is just weaponized against you, and so it's you know, but you gotta be careful because when you talk like how I'm talking now, you get labeled like a 10-foot crackpot motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just think you like, oh, you super conspiracy theorist, but not everybody is where everybody is at. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is like in these schools or in these hip hop meetings or these DJ like meetings or producer meetings. So like only people that are in the room know all of the scam and sucker stuff that goes on. So a lot of them psychologists, if you get a off the record conversation with them, they'll be like, oh no, it's some serious scamming stuff going on, and it's totally overdiagnosed, and you know that's why you gotta practice it. You gotta practice your patience. You gotta work on it. It's a muscle, because then you know how badly you suffer from it. Like if you know, like not having patience or lack of patience. You know, you'll know yourself is like, oh no, like y'all trying to like hustle me and put me on some shit. Or no, I'm legit. Like I'm legit have ADHD. Like there's physically something wrong with my ability to concentrate.
Yeah,
you know, and it is all trial and error. Like.
Yeah, like, man, I mean, a lot of it's so crazy, man. Like, you could be in the moment, right? You can be in the moment with somebody, and and she been telling me this shit for years. I just wasn't paying attention to it. So now that I'm paying attention and exercising patience, it's almost like you could almost like knock me over with a feather. You're like, what? It's like this. It's not. I wouldn't say an aha moment, but it's like, what the fuck? Where was I at? What was wrong with like me? I'm talking about me and what I'm thinking about myself. Like, why didn't I see this? Why wasn't I more aware? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why was I being so dismissive about it? And because when I yeah, right, yeah, okay,
that's right,
touche, yeah, because I know that me also doing that. It was just damaging everything around me. And then being in denial about the damage that was being done as well and not taking accountability for it as well. I mean, and I was just like constantly pissing gasoline on the fire. You know what I'm saying? Daily. And now that I'm here in a moment and I'm just asking the very people that I love so dearly to just now exercise patience with me, and they're like, motherfucker, we've been patient with your ass. You know what I'm saying? We tired of being patient with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm done being patient with you. I'm done hearing all of this shit. And now that I'm over here in this fucking beautiful ass moment and living every day to my fullest capabilities, you know, every day when I wake up, it doesn't mean that everybody else is on the same page with me about me. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing that I have to understand, or that just anybody else should understand. In whatever your walk is, man, it's your walk, and sometimes you may have to walk that motherfucker alone. You know, and shit, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And the only thing that I can do every day is just be better, and fucking be better with the people that I care about around me all the time. You know what I mean? And God willing, or the universe willing, or whatever the higher power is, that they come around and see that I'm not just talking out of my ass, that I'm actually executing, I'm actually doing every day. And And it's just as hard for the other people around. And I can't even imagine somebody that's dealing with a mental illness like that to deal with somebody who doesn't or didn't or was being dismissive about it. It's craziness, man. It's just pure insanity on my part. You know what I'm saying? Doing the same thing over and over and over again, thinking I'm going to get a different result. That's fucking crazy. Reggie Daniels says stubbornness can be a killer. And he also says the excessive need to diagnose mental illness allows the pharmaceutical industry to make hella bread. That's true. That's very, 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 very true. My brother-in-law, who suffers from a lot of different shit, they are trying to shove every goddamn pill under the sun to him, and he's trying them, but they ain't working out, and he's even more frustrated. Some of them are making him feel worse than he was already feeling. I mean, this whole world that we dealing with right now is just a hot mess, man. I don't even know what the fuck to say except for sit down and be patient, man. I tell everybody in the house nowadays, I just like, man, just breathe. It's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? We're gonna walk through this together, and that's really because that's all I can offer. You know what I'm saying? I can't offer shit.
It's interesting you say that. It's interesting you say that because control of breath is control of energy.
Right.
You know,
yes, sir.
Like we don't all been in fights before, so when we pant and getting hyped up, or even if we use the what's the meditative like tones like or woosah, like we use all of those meditative chants. They're done like that to vibrate in the body and calm you down. They're not just some like weird spooky shit.
Right.
To say it's there's a scientific like calming thing because they're all vibration like hums and stuff like that. So just vibrate in the body and slow down your breath.
Yeah.
Just to calm down. I had to do that not too long ago, man. I was leaving the school I counsel at, and I'm walking because I don't live that far, so I'm walking, and these people just was at a red light, and they just threw all their trash out the window, and I grabbed it. I just grabbed it because there's a trash can right there, and it was just like, man, that's crazy. And I grabbed it and threw it away. And like motherfuckers got mad at me. It was like, what the fuck, motherfucker, you think you better than us?
Wow.
And I was stupid. I was stupid. I reacted. I was like, I am. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. And him and his girl went clean on me. They was clean on me. Oh, fake ass Jamaican nigga. Going clean off. And my impulsive reaction was to snap back up quick with it. I can go better. I'm like, no. I'm in front of the school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know what they got. I could embarrass these two people, and then they could just start spraying me. You know what I'm saying? And now, even if they don't, if I just fight this dude, then I gotta fight his girl because if I'm beating him up, she gonna jump in, so I gotta punch her. Or worst case, if he getting the best of me, he beat me up. You know what I'm saying? Like nah, but it's all in front of the school I'm stationed at.
Right.
Like, man, so I just gotta take it. I just gotta take it. You know, I'm like, man, you know what? My life pretty fucking awesome. So let me take it. Let me just take this disrespect.
Right.
But it was hard, man. I ain't no saint. It was hard. Like you see how I slipped up. I was like, Mike, you ain't better than us. I am. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you, it's like, oh man. But that was
right. So to give a little context on some things, so this morning I'm having a conversation with my significant other, and it's going. It starts off good, then it starts going haywire, then it gets good, then it gets haywire, then it just gets fucked up.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to react. And at first I was cool. Now I'm starting to react because now my patience is wearing thin. Because I'm not hearing the things I want to hear. I don't know what it was, but I took a moment. I took a step back. I got up. I walked off. And when I came back, my first reaction, my knee-jerk reaction was about, okay, I'm about to go clean in right now.
Right.
But instead, I sat down and I just listened. And they started to cry, and then I'm getting emotional. And then they said something to me that I thought, we can't do this. They go, I don't want to talk anymore. I'm shutting down. That's it. And my first response was, no, what do you mean shutting down? It's always like when you don't want to talk, you want to shut down. Then I had to think, oh, her ADHD, everything else, all this other shit. And I'm over here stressing, doing whatever. So I got up and I went over to her and I grabbed her hands and I said, let's just breathe. Because I don't want this conversation to end and then we're just pissed off. And then the rest of the day is pissed off. And I had already, like I said, I wake up every morning to try to be better. And I was already having a fucked up day yesterday. So I'm like, really, like when I wake up, I'm like, yo, okay, we're going to do better today. And so I put on that shoe today like that. And I said, no, we're not doing that. Let's breathe and let's just take it easy. We had some good moments. We had some good conversation. Let's take a minute and learn from what we just went through. And let's not end this by shutting down or shutting each other down. Let's just take it easy for a minute and let's just breathe. And that was the best thing I could have ever done.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it helped her. I know it helped her because then we went to the beach, to her and the kids and everything. We went and barbecued and we had a great time. And on the way back to get to here to do the shows, I was just telling her like how much I appreciated that whole time being spent at the beach. And I was like, let's go Monday and just go cruise Lakeshore Drive, just me and you, and listen to some music and be she's like, it's so therapeutic. And I'm like, we've been living here for so long and I've never once drove down Lakeshore Drive like that. Not once.
You've never drove down LSD?
No, I mean I have, but like going somewhere, but not like going to just cruise with music playing, windows open, air blowing, none of that shit. I thought, and I didn't give like my wife wanted to do those things with me, and I never did it. She'd go by herself, and God knows what the fuck she was thinking, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty negative about me. But I was like, yeah, let's do that. You know what I mean? And she's like, yeah, I think that would be good. And just to think that some months ago, I wouldn't have stopped and said, let's just breathe and let's just not end this like this because I don't want it to ruin, the day, and I don't want it to fuck up anything. I don't want to walk away from this being upset with you, and I don't want you to walk away from this being upset with me. We can learn from what we just said to each other, and then the next time we have a conversation, it's going to be better. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we
We are always in control of the momentum, man.
Yeah.
We are always in control of the momentum. With the little boy, that's the one thing I always wonder about. Like, man, why is it so hard to shift the momentum? I wonder if that's the ego thing on our part, not just men, but like men, women, everybody. Like, it's an ego thing. We just can't even. Like, it's just difficult to shift the momentum.
Because you have to accept. Because I think you have to accept responsibility when you're shifting the momentum. If if shit's fucked up and you're like, all right, I need to come and say, I fucked up, and that's part of the right, like shifting the momentum, like saying, all right, let's stop this shit, and doing things like you were saying, like, all right, let's take a ride down, shifting that shit. Let's take a ride down LSD, listen to some music.
No, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No, I agree with you. I also think too, man, a lot of it is like, man, we want to be right. We do not want to be wrong in this situation. We feel like, man, if I shift the momentum, it's almost like an admission that I was wrong. You might not And right or wrong ain't even like right or wrong is like mad non-binary. Like it's crazy. Like gender could be non-binary, but right and wrong gotta be yes, no,
Right.
good, bad, right, wrong. Like no, it's a spectrum. Like what percentage of wrong am I in this situation? You know, but I am a percentage wrong. Like I should not have said to those people, I am when they like, you ain't better than us. I should not have responded. I am better than you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was wrong. I didn't throw the trash out. I'm not 90% wrong, but I'm 10% wrong. You could even say 20% wrong. I could have just picked this shit up and threw it away and not said nothing. Or just responded like, I love you. I didn't. I just was like, I am.
Yeah, and, you know, and that shit, like Reggie said, man, it's a muscle. Like, it's shit that you just got to work on. And I think we're always consistently working on each other as people, man. So I think shouldn't be so crucial, man, of like where you at. In one of my rhymes, I say, like, no matter how far, well, I'm talking about religion, but I think it just stood for everything, where I said no matter how far you've gone from God, you can always come back. And whatever your God is and whatever it is you believe in, and no matter how far you go, I think there's always like that, you know, moment of redemption where you can still always come back and say, shit, I fucked up. I'm here. I'm doing better. You know, I was just telling my daughter about that in regards to like her school, you know, and telling her like, listen, no matter what it is that you did wrong, and no matter what it is that went wrong in freshman year and sophomore year, she's a junior now. My other daughter already graduated from Lane, but my youngest daughter, she's in, you know, she's in her junior year. And I said, look, man, no matter what went wrong in those years, you can always come back. You can start right now being good and doing what you got to do, and you'll be straight. And ain't nobody gonna, you know, chastise you for anything that you did before. Like, just do better from this moment. And you know that relates to everything that we're talking about, and having patience and just deciding to be able to speak about things and move forward with like solutions, and just doing better from that moment, because you can't take back the past. None of the shit that happened in your pardon me, none of the shit that happened in your relationship, none of the shit that happened in a friendship, none of that shit you can take back, but you can just try being a better person. And you know, I've spoke about that in the past, about like friends that I've had from like, you know, the Wicker Park area that had issues with because of their drinking or whatever, and they came back and said, hey man, I'm sorry, I was going through a thing, I'm trying to mend relationships with everybody. And that's, you know, acceptance, knowing that you were wrong and willing to open up that dialogue with the people that you did wrong to fix things, or at least to, when whether it's fix things or not, just move forward with something better, with a better plan for living. Because as all of us know, man, life is too short. Life is just too short, man. And especially when you know, even when you go back and watch like Facebook memories and you see, you know, people and things that are no longer here, you're just like, man, you know, life is just too short. So patience is a virtue, man, and try to use it, man, and just get through shit with your family members, with your relationships, because we all got people we don't talk to no more because of dumbass shit, and you can't get that shit back.
Yeah, you gotta excuse me. I'm over here trying to get these cameras fixed. But let me see. Let me add you to the right. Bam.
We still in.
There we go. Hold on.
Bet you still with us, Nick?
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, bet.
I just got to get our camera right, man. All these technical difficulties, bro. But it is what it is, man. I mean, I ain't mad at it. Just trying to. I don't know about the zoom. I can zoom out. That's right. So let me get this. Pardon us. I can zoom out or zoom in. So yeah, I'll tell you, man. It was tough to do that in that moment. You know what I'm saying? To be there we go. To look at all the control I have on it now. So that's crazy. I got control over everything, but I just don't know how to use everything.
Bro, it was meant to happen.
Yeah,
it was meant to happen, so we could get the show right. But
yeah,
you know.
So I can say though, like in that fucking moment, man, I can't say like why I did or whatever. Like I really knew what the fuck I was doing. I just knew in that moment that like we could not, because it just reminded me of every argument and everything that we'd already had thousands of fucking times, and how I felt after the fact, and I was like, we can't fucking do this like this. We can't keep this fucking cycle going, and we got to be able to learn from this shit, no matter if it was good, bad, or indifferent. We got to learn from it, but first we got to calm the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? Like and that's why I went over to her, grabbed her hands, and was like, breathe, man, because she was losing it emotionally, and I was trying to hold it together because I was about to fucking lose it emotionally, and things aren't 100% great. They might not even 10% great, but shit, they were about 1% great this morning. And now we're at 10% great. You know what I'm saying?
But I think it's good. I think it's still good, bro. Just from listening to you, what you're saying, that as long as both people are still willing to talk and still willing to work things out in that situation, regardless of what the cause of it was, regardless if it was because of the ADHD, or regardless if it was because you were too strict and too demanding, or whatever it was, whatever the case is, I think you can still always move forward. But I wanted to ask you a question, Heat. What do you think is what do you think is what is something you think you shouldn't do that takes the bar too far? Like, when people start doing this, it becomes too much. Like, what do you think is like, what's your breaking point? Where if someone does this, it's just too much.
My breaking point?
Yeah, I don't think you're on the mic. We'll wait for you to get back on the. Yeah, all right. So we're back. But yeah, like, in general, for other people that are listening, like, that might gonna do some crazy shit later. Don't take it this fucking far. Like,
I don't know, man. I'm learning that my breaking points weren't what I thought my breaking points were. So I don't know. I can't answer that, because I'm realizing that what I thought was my breaking points, that they're not. That was just me being reactive, and that was just me not really being in the moment and not really listening or hearing the person talking to me or whatever in the fuck, because it's my choice. And that's another part of the conversation that kept getting really rocky, because I kept telling this person, you're not in control of me. So if you're concerned about what the fuck, how I'm gonna feel, you're not in charge of my feelings. I'm sorry. No matter how fucked up that may sound, but you're not in control of my feelings. So don't be worried about me. Let me worry about me. And that sounds fucked up, but a lot of people need to start thinking like that.
No, but I think you also, hold on. I also think that you do share responsibility in the effect of the other person's feelings.
Yeah, but they're not in charge. They're not in charge of my feelings. Jizzle, you're not in charge of my feelings.
So how is it a unity if you're both not involved in each other's feelings?
That's not what I'm saying. That's the thing. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, like, if a person says to me, I gotta do this and this because I worry too much about you. I'm concerned about hurting you. Good. Be concerned. But you're not in charge of my feelings. So it doesn't matter what you do, thinking you're going to save me from being hurt. You can't.
Why are you disconnecting so far?
I'm not disconnecting. I'm saying it wrong.
It sounds like you're disconnecting too far from the situation.
No.
You can't affect me. None of this shit affects me that you do.
Hold on, D-Net, go ahead. He's saying timeout.
So, like a lot of... that's why I did the equation of the fight, flight, and fawn and whatnot. Because a lot of times, if one person says I'm concerned about you, and I have to do X, Y, and Z because I'm concerned about you. Them being concerned, like you can't, like we have no control over their concern, and if they with us, you want them to be concerned with you,
right?
Like friend, foe, lover, and all that stuff. So there's a cost to that. And that's part of the cost, like, because the opposite is I'm gonna fucking do what you want to do. So like it's like infinite fucking passion, if that makes sense. So so they're not trying to be in charge, but a lot of times like it does affect them, it does hurt them. We got kids, we all got kids, so we know what that feel like when our kids are struggling. We're like, we want to help. We want to help. We want to instantly help.
But that's not what I was talking about.
I'm just using that as an example. I'm using that example about our emotional response to our loved ones. Not just everybody has this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you telling, like, it might have been, that's why, the other got, defensive. Because, like, you're not in charge of my feelings. It's not what they want to do. They just want you to be better, especially at the very least in their presence. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see none of my loved ones suffering and all that type of stuff. I don't want to see them feel away or any of that. Especially if you're one of those people that are solution oriented. And if you can't find a solution, that gets frustrating.
But see, the context of and I should have gave more context is what I should say, is that it was being used in a way that, like, okay, so I'm doing this, it's like taking charge of my feelings. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they were saying that they were doing certain things to basically keep me in a certain mode, or to make sure I stayed in a certain mode. And I told them, you don't own that.
So my question is, were you tight about were you resistant about them taking charge of that, trying to do X, Y, and Z to keep you in a certain mode? Or did you, were you like, what was your conflict with them?
The thing about it is, okay, so how I broke it down was like this, okay? I'm when I say like I'm in charge of me, is because I am. I'm in charge of my own behaviors. Nobody else is in charge of that. I'm in charge of.
No, I get that. I'm asking, like, what is it about
that particular thing? Is because the way that it was given was the same way when somebody feels like. That's why I said that, like, being in charge of your behaviors and shit. I know how to push your buttons. The fuck you do? I'm in charge of allowing you to push my buttons. You know what I'm saying? I'm in charge of all of those things. You're not in charge of that. How I feel about something, there is nothing anybody can do to me if my mind is made up about anything, or how I feel about something is how I feel about it. So you could do whatever you want. It may not change how I feel about it. Okay. Or it might, but it may not. That's up to me to decide. Not for somebody else to decide how I'm going to feel about it.
So you got upset at the narrative that she is in control.
No, I didn't get upset. I just wanted. I'm not asking. No, I didn't get upset. I just wanted to be clear that they're not in charge of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I'm upset, and if I choose to stay upset, there's not a whole lot you can do for me. There's nothing you can do about how I feel about that situation. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of weird how my brain works, but it's almost like how I feel about it. It's like when, say, like my mother passed away some years ago, and I can't stand it when people say, "Oh, I'm sorry." Well, about what?
I feel like that's like a defense mechanism, bro.
Whatever.
All of this shit is like a defense mechanism. It could be. I mean, like saying you don't have control. That's like, you can't control my feelings, so I have control of everything.
I don't have control of your feelings.
Nah, bro. But
I have control of how I treat you, though.
If you treat me like an asshole today, I'm gonna leave out of here upset, and you are in control. I mean, I could decide.
Okay,
not
let me
to
give
stay
better
mad
context.
about
Then
it.
let me give better context. Then, so somebody's lying to me about something because they're concerned about my feelings. You're not helping. You're not in control of. You're trying to control now my feelings about something, and you're making it worse.
That's my question. Is it the actions, or is it the narrative of control over your feelings?
It's the action.
It's the action.
Yeah.
It's the action. It's not the narrative.
No.
Because
it's the action.
It's tricky. Like what's tricky is like when you say, when you say like I have like okay, I'm just from what I can remember paraphrasing.
Go ahead.
I have X, Y, and Z because I don't want you to get mad. And you're like, no matter what you do, if I want to get mad, you're not in control of my feelings. You know, like that's. I mean, no. The general, no one's in control of anybody's feelings.
That's all I'm saying.
Period. New sentence. We are responsible for everybody, for the environment that we in. Like, so if I'm in Shy City Cyphers and I'm just like, give the fuck this beat. I want a better beat. You know what I'm saying? And like, yo, bro, like you know, settle down. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. You don't tell me what to rap over. Like that's I'm not making the cipher like a welcoming cipher. I am steering the energy. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, I'm not controlling any of the other MC's feelings, but I am being the problem.
Right.
And
no.
And
It's the opposite. It's completely opposite of that. So when I said that shit to her, it wasn't like I wasn't upset or anything. I was just because I was trying to get my point across about something, and the point was like, okay, so you're doing X, Y, and Z over here because you're worried about my feelings. But if you were truly worried about my feelings, you wouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z on top of that other X, Y, and Z, because now you're lying to me about this when you're doing this. And then you're coming back and you're trying to fix my feelings about whatever that situation is. And if that situation is, I'm in charge of how I feel about that situation. And if I don't like it, I don't like it. And if I feel whatever way about it, I feel whatever way about it. And you doing that, you're trying to manipulate how I'm going to feel about it. And that's not cool.
But I think we're all responsible for other people's significant ones.
Of course.
Reactions too. Because hold on, hear me out. Because if they feel like they have to, dude, you gotta be open to listening, man. Because every time you're just like, nah, fuck that.
Because I think my shit got taken out of context.
We are responsible for other people's shit when we're doing things. Like, and you're responsible for it. And I am. And I trust and believe, bro. I am every motherfucking day.
It wasn't an angry thing that I said. It wasn't to try to stop them or anything like that. It's just letting them know that what you're doing is low key, like trying to manipulate a situation, and you're not in control of that.
Instead of say that, why don't you just say it is affecting me, and you should stop. You should stop doing what you're doing, because you're just saying, oh, it ain't fucking.
No. See, again, if I'm telling you that I've had that conversation, and I was having that conversation and saying those very things, and the only thing that kept coming back is about my motherfucking feelings. And if I'm telling you how I feel about something, but you're telling me that's not it, you can't do that. You can't tell me how I feel about something. But I can't tell you how you feel about something. But do you think
the reason that she was hiding those things from you was because you built you built that atmosphere, because people that communicate don't have to worry about those things because they talk about it.
Right. But we weren't. Okay.
So if she's not talking about it, it's because there was an atmosphere for that.
Maybe you didn't hear what I just said prior to you saying that. It's them saying one thing and then pushing that agenda on me. You feel like this. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. No, I don't. You're not in control of telling me how I feel. That's what I was saying. You're not in control of telling me how I feel about something. I'm in control of that because only I truly know how I feel about something.
I get that. So, when someone says,
you hear what I'm saying?
Like when someone says, "Oh, you mad?" and you're like, "I'm not fucking mad." Like I get what you're saying in that point of it, but I think when we're dealing with relationships, there's a different process for it. No, it's not the same process as when you're just telling the motherfucker, "Oh, I am mad because you said that. Fuck you." You know what I mean? It's a different process when you're dealing with a relationship.
But you're not hearing again. I already went down that road, and I kept going down that road of trying to explain that I get it. But here's the thing. If you're going to keep telling me that, and the only way that I can express that shit is to tell a motherfucker, listen, I get it, but you're not in control of that. You're not. I am. And if I'm going to be upset about something, I'm going to be upset. You can't tell me when I'm going to be upset or how I'm going to be upset. You can't predict any of that shit. You don't know how I'm going to respond to anything. I know how I'm going to respond. And I'm at a point in my life where I don't really just give out knee-jerk ass reactions to shit. I'm going to think it through before I say or do anything. So I thought everything through as I was saying it. And I did, and it got to a point where I'm like, when you understand you're not in control of what I feel. I am in control of what I feel. Nobody
But
else.
how you feel can affect how she feels.
Absolutely, and I get that. But that wasn't what the conversation was about.
But I don't know. I challenge that because if she's telling you how you feel and she doesn't want you to feel that way, and you're on the defense to say like you can't control how I feel, that clearly is an admission. It's not correct, but it's an admission that she feels away, and so because of how you're responding.
But if I say before any of that, I'm fine. Mm-hmm. I'm okay.
But maybe she's not.
Right. But
so
she's telling me that I'm not okay. You can't tell me that.
It's
if I'm
she
telling
feels.
you,
Nick is trying to say it's how she feels. You can't change just how it's not affecting you, and that's how you feel. She's saying that she's feeling some kind of way because she thinks it's making you feel some kind of way, and as your partner in life, you kind of got to listen to that, man. You can't just be like, nah, fuck that. I'm not feeling no kind of way about it. Like it's got to be addressed.
It was and it was being addressed. Yeah.
I would ask, like, I would suggest, like, why do you think I feel that way? That's a good question. That's how, like, I don't believe I feel like that. Why do you believe I feel that way?
And that's exactly
instead of just going on to defense, just challenge.
I did
challenge, not me. You know how to talk. I ain't telling you, but you introduce a challenge, and
I did.
I did. So, and then that's how things stay civil,
right?
That's part of it.
Because, like, I get it. You know what I mean? And when I say, because like I said, the conversation went a whole bunch of different ways, and at one point I was like, "Fuck, you're not in control of my shit." You know what I'm saying? Because it's just how I feel. I'm in control of me. I get it. As a partner, as a friend, is this and that. We're in control of, to a degree of how that person may feel about something or whatever the case may be. But if I'm trying, or if I am talking through this whole thing, and I'm saying the right things, then I don't understand why that's not being heard and why that's not registering. You know what I'm saying? If I say I'm okay with something, then I'm okay with something. And that's pretty much all there is to that. D-Nick, you froze up, bro.
Snap.
Yeah.
I think this this is good for everybody because we're all in them situations. We either been in that situation and dealt with it in some way, man. And we're just looking at it from different points of view, and I think that's important.
No, I respect. When
everything. You're arguing, have you ever been arguing with somebody and have said, "I think if I wish we had another person right here just to listen to your ass." Like, have you ever said that in an argument? Because I've done that. I've been getting wild out on it, and I've just been like, man, if there was another person, another adult here, you would not be acting like this. Like,
I've said that before in the past, and what I say now instead of saying that is like, in order for us to really hear each other, because if we're not allowing each other the time to talk and there's being interruptions and everything, that we should go to and have somebody completely unbiased and everything inside that conversation, so that that we're able to deal with that and able to handle that situation that way. Because if not, then shit, we're popped. You know what I mean? Because if we don't know how to communicate, then we're popped. You know what I'm saying? We're dead in the water. So.
Back to the word patience, man. I think everything that we just talked about, even the part of saying like you're not in, and everything and whatever, we were not there, so we didn't listen to the whole thing. But all of that, man, just entails, you know, being patient and just being able to be like, all right, let me step back, let me listen, let me look at this shit from a different point of view, because you know, it's crazy. Like for me, like when I've dealt with relationships and I'm no longer in those relationships, after a while you kind of look back at some shit and be like, man, that was fucking stupid, like, or that should have not went like that, or that could have went like this, it could have went another way. So I think there's always a moment for growth in those situations, and understanding of like what you did wrong and what you could do better in another situation, and whatever it is in life, you know, shit, your work, your friendships, maybe you fucking lost a couple friends because you were acting like an asshole or whatever, and then, you know what I mean, you learn from that shit, and you learn how to be patient and learn how to understand other people. Because, you know, my dad always said, and he said my grandma, rest in peace, always said, everybody's mind is a different world. So, you know, you don't know what people are thinking, you don't know what people are going through. Just try to be humble, man, and be understanding, and in whatever situation, family, life, friendships, you know.
Right.
Just try.
I think you're 100% right, bro. You know, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time left, but you know, I hate to sound and come off like that I'm just sitting up there yelling and doing all kinds of wild ass shit, because I wasn't, and that's just because I wasn't. I mean, at the end of the day, and I just feel like you know, every day, again, I keep saying this shit. Hold on. He said, microphone misfits. D-Nick said, sorry, fellas. I was threw off. What's dope, Heat, is you are doing work. Salute to you, and God bless you. Man, thank you so much, bro.
That's what this shit is about,
That's
man. About
exactly
doing
what
work.
It's about. It's
That's
about
why
the
we're
work.
on the check-in every Sunday
You know,
at 8:30.
I'm at a point where I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, but I can't concern myself with tomorrow. I got to concern myself with today and this moment. And so I exercise that every day, bro, and trust and believe. You know, I'm not perfect, man, and there was moments in those conversations where I almost lost it, and I was angry. I almost threw my phone against the wall, man, and I wanted to flip some tables over and shit. I'm not even fucking playing. Like I really had some motherfucking moments, but I had to like really sit back and really like, all right, motherfucker, chill, shut your mouth, fucking listen, be patient, because ain't shit gonna happen if this is how it continues, man. We're going to hell in a handbasket, and I don't want that. I don't want that. I can't be better every day if I'm not taking the necessary steps, and I can't help anybody be better around me if I'm not taking those steps. You know what I'm saying? And I got to do better every day. Today, was it 100% great? No, but it sure the fuck was better than yesterday.
But that's why the future is important, bro. And I'm gonna, like, you know, I'm gonna challenge what you said about that. It is for tomorrow. It is for the future. You're talking about you're only worried about today, but I think a lot of the things that we do today are to lay that foundation for what we're gonna be.
That's exactly
for
what
what's gonna happen later in our life.
Right, but that's why I said what I said. I concern myself with today because it's gonna get me over there tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I concern myself with today.
I see that too.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, yesterday wasn't that great. Today was better than yesterday because I woke up and I said, okay, I had a fucked up day yesterday. So whatever is thrown at me today, I'm going to do my very best that I can today to get through that and make sure that today was better than yesterday. And that's all you can do. Now, if I concern myself with tomorrow and I'm not dealing with today, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thought process nowadays is like, you know, telling my family and everything, I'm not asking anything from anybody. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not asking for shit. I'm just asking for you to be with me here in the moment. Because that's all we really truly got. I ain't blessed to know I'm going to wake up tomorrow. So it's important for the people that are around me every day that be in the moment with me and hear me. Let's talk. Let's you know what I'm saying? Let's communicate. Let's be in the moment.
You can only be better, bro, from this moment on.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what we were saying earlier. It's what counts is right now. Fuck yesterday, fuck tomorrow, fuck last year, the last 2 years. You can't change it. Just be better right now.
But also too with that being said, and the last words for the night, Yeah, you can't change what happened back, a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever. And you can't make somebody forget about it or anything like that. But in that, you can't tell somebody to just say, fuck that. You can't tell them, fuck yesterday or whatever. If you're going to do that, you got to take accountability for what you did. And whatever it was, you have to take accountability. That's the biggest step. Because then you can rest assured that when you do say we're living, we can't worry about yesterday, it's because you're really taking accountability for whatever it is that you did that fucked up yesterday. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. My mans, I appreciate the shit out of you, bro.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you, bro, man. This is a great show, man. It's always been my favorite show out of all the shows that we do. And anybody that's still tuning in, man, to all of y'all, we do this all weekend, Friday, 8:30 p.m. Friday at 8:30 p.m. Unwrap with Heat Detector, Naj Vino. Saturday, Whoop De Whoop with Cam.
Shout out sports, like you're supposed to get it, dummy.
Sports, how you're supposed to get it. And then Sunday, 7 p.m., we got Shy City Cypher podcast. And at 8:30, we got the check-in, which is what y'all watching right now. So tune into the Unwrap station. Follow your boy, man, Jizzle for Shizzle on Instagram. Jizzle Villanueva on Facebook. And check out Shy City Cypher on YouTube. Thank you, Heat.
Yeah, and I want to say to everybody out there right now, man, sorry about the technical difficulties, man. But we got a new streaming service, man. We outgrew the shit that we had, and so we gotta up the ante, man. We got to have more control over shit. So we're working very diligently to bring you guys the best content that we can, and the most honest content, and the most fun content, and the most revealing content that we can. It's no scams, it's no games, it's no bullshit. I say that all the time. No scams, no games, no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's the motto I live by right now. You know what I mean? I ain't fucking with nobody. I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to be me, and it's no games, no nothing. No scam. I'm not here to manipulate, fuck with, none of that. No scams, no games, no bullshit. And that's what you're going to get with Shy City Cypher. That's what you're going to get with Unwrap. It's what you're going to get with the check-in. And it's what you're going to get with Whoop De Whoop Sports, man. And just be patient with us, man. We growing like a motherfucker, man. Be patient with us, and we gonna make it happen, man. Sorry about the technical difficulties. For those that were watching on Facebook, sorry that we couldn't get to all of your comments because we have, again, new software. Got to figure it out to get all of the comments to come in so that I can see them all and we can read them all off to everybody and acknowledge everybody that is in the comments and that does watch the show because we appreciate y'all. You guys are the reason that we keep on doing this shit. With that being said, we out of here. Peace. Have a blessed evening. Rest of your evening, man. Be good to those around you, fam. They need you to be good around you. Around them.